Mozart, you know the guy, famous classical composer, child prodigy. I too have dabbled in this area. See, but what can be learned from one of the most well-known composer's 232-year-old daily routine? My first objective of the day, wake up. Nailed it. Followed by the toilet. This was specified in most websites describing his routine, but I don't think anyone needs that filmed. Between 6 and 7, Mozart would dress, have his hair done, hair inspo, and as a musician myself, I'm curious to find out what I can learn from his routine. So here are the 7 areas of life Mozart fulfilled every day, and I will be measuring how satisfied I feel in the same areas compared to my daily routine. Now, Mr. Mozart dressed up as if every day was an occasion. I do not. So this is me trying to look fancy, but I realize now that I'm channeling poor Eponine from Les Mis, so I don't know what to do about that, but I feel fancy. Okay, so it's 7:01 and I'm all dressed up. So let's see if this helps me in making some music. All right, people, I have 2 hours to write a musical masterpiece. Let's go. Now, the rumors say that Mozart's last composition, unfinished due to his death, was commissioned by a fellow composer who had the intention of claiming Mozart's work as his own. How freaking scandalous, right? The piece was in D minor, so I have also chosen the same key as a little tribute. So I feel like I'm experiencing a very high level of focus. I'm realizing I haven't really been on my phone at all, which is very different. Yes, I'm in my robe because it's cold, but take a look at this. It's light outside. As the sun rose, as did my musical masterpiece. Okay, not a masterpiece, but I feel like people of the 1800s would low-key love this. I hope. It's nice to sit down and focus and write music and just do that for a few hours without distractions. But there's something very important to note. I'm freaking starving. It's breakfast time. Seriously, the love I have for oats is strong with this one. I felt very accomplished after writing my little piece, and just like Mozart, I sat down, had breakfast with my soulmate. Hello, where did you go? Hello. Just kidding, I'm fine, I'm fine. So I feel a little bit weird making a video about Mozart where I don't talk about his music at all, so here is my mini objective for the day. Later this evening I shall attend a classical concert and I shall network just like Mozart would, and I'm gonna see if I can get one Mozart musical piece recommendation that I can then react to later. But before that, it's time for some life admin. For Mozart, this looked like giving lessons, sharing his knowledge with the world. For me, I just prepped my vocals for my next mini musical. Basically having the same level of impact on the world, right? I've sorted my vocals into characters, so we've got dwarf, man, and other, and look how neat it is, and they're so well organized. Apparently Mozart was a big foodie, loved sauerkraut, loved dining and hanging with his friends, and this sounds right up my alley. Let's go. I ate and chatted and had a great time. Socializing with friends isn't something I do every day to this extent, so I felt very fulfilled in this area. But they did not have sauerkraut, so sorry Mozart. Now, we all know that talent isn't enough in the creative world, it's also about who you know. In the evening time, Mozart would network at concerts or work on his music. Tonight, I am going to face my awkwardness and try and network with people at a classical concert. Plan A, talk to people in the lobby. Let's find some people. Oh no, feeling too awkward. Plan B. All right guys, Operation Mozart is underway. See if I can find some people to talk to. My plan is to find the people I'm sitting with. We'll see how I go. All right, I can do this. Just say hello. I'll be getting Mozart recommendations in no time. But I need to say the MSO sounded incredible. Highly recommend. Okay guys, I did it. I talked to the person who sat next to me. I bet my anxiety. I feel very proud of myself. We did it! The person I sat next to, let's call him Mr. K. He sent me a list of Mozart recommendations the following day and I am stoked. I'm giving 5 out of 5 for networking. Operation Mozart was a success. We can take a listen to one later and I feel pretty damn inspired. Romance. Yeah, that's a big 0 out of 5. Mozart trumps me on that one. And finally, after a long drive, I am home. Okay, so it's just 12 o'clock. Came back from the concert. I had a really good time. It was amazing to see an orchestra play classical music. That's kind of a first time for me, so I really enjoyed it. But Mozart would compose until 1 AM, so I've got 1 hour to go. I don't think this is going to be a productive hour for me because I'm not a night person, but I'll see how I go. I found myself getting stuck in a listening loop to this piece and I didn't really add anything new. Maybe this was a useful way to edit the piece, but for me, I just wanted to sleep, so that's what I did. I slept like a baby. Seriously, I think Mozart knew what he was doing. And I wonder if anyone has the same thought that this daily routine is kind of awesome. It's such a healthy balance of work, socializing, fun, inspiration, love. I thought this guy knew how to live. And of course, that's not a revolutionary thing to say. I think if most of us had the means to go out with our friends for lunch every day and go out to concerts every evening, we would. Because another thought I had was, damn, this is an expensive lifestyle. Definitely will not be doing this every day, but this is what I took away from it. Balance is healthy. It was kind of nice to see that he had incorporated all these important elements of his life. The one thing I would change personally or add to this routine, well, first off, I wouldn't get up at 6 a.m. That's not my vibe. I'm more like a 7:30 kind of gal, okay? To make it a super perfect routine for me, I would have added health, whether that be going for a walk or some form of exercise. A very important takeaway, especially if you're a creative, schedule time for creativity. I think that sometimes it can be very easy to not schedule time for creativity because it feels very contrasting to what creativity is, but I've listened to so many interviews and I know for myself that it's very handy to say I'm going to work on my art, my music, my book from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. The practice of scheduling time to be creative, I have found very useful, and it was kind of cool to see that he did that. And this is a personal reflection for me, but I want to say it because I hope it helps other people. In regards to Operation Mozart and talking to people, I cannot tell you how uncomfortable that makes me. I'm not a person who will go approach people usually. I'm trying to be better at it as the older I get because I think it's a healthy thing to be able to do. But if you're like, oh, I could never talk to people in public, I feel that way a lot too, so hopefully that gives you some encouragement that even just saying hi to someone is a step forward. Now it's time for me to experience the music of the man himself because I actually don't know lots of Mozart, so this will be a first reaction for me. Look, I'm clearly no Mozart, but the man clearly knew what he was doing. From what I could hear, I like the use of motifs. You could tell when he was taking a musical phrase and using it and transforming it in different ways. It's in C major, so obviously it caters to sounding very happy, but there was also like minor moments, sadder sounding moments, which of course contrast is always nice in music. You can't have the same thing all the time. It's like in anything, a balance in life, a balance in music and a balance in life. He knew what he was doing. Thank you, Mr. K, for the recommendation. Thank you for watching, everyone, and until next time. Bye. Meanwhile, this is the day in the life of an Aussie. Can you hear the birds? They're having a good time. What is happening? Oh, the magpies are fighting.